My name is Peter Gardiner. I'm a mid-career painter from Newcastle. My work is primarily known for being romantic and fairly dramatic. When I was approached by Rod Patterton to be involved in the Loud Sky project, I jumped at the opportunity. I was a bit worried about the imagery and things I was going to use, and I didn't get to engage with the individual survivors as well as I possibly could have. And because of that, and knowing the other artists were involved with the individual survivors, I cast around for another way of looking at the concept and the idea of survival. I came across a poem by John Donne, and there is a line in it that talks about for whom the bell tolls, it tolls for thee. And to me that seemed to sum up the experience of the community and the way as a community that we are all in some way survivors, but we're also in some way complicit. We were all in some way taken up in this firestorm of a really a cataclysmic event. When it came to developing the imagery, I was caught between a couple of ideas, but in the end the fires won out, specifically because of the broad metaphor of fire. Fire, of course, it's destructive. It also has regenerative and powerful, it's a powerful tool for good and repair. And it's also, as I said before, is reflective of how an idea, or a meme, I suppose, can go through a community. The idea of where there's smoke, there's fire, because there was always smoke. We knew what was going on. Once it was brought into the mainstream, and the mainstream media, of course, it took off and it burnt through the community, and we were all in some way scorched or affected by it. The metaphor being so broad is good because people can bring their own experience, whether they are individual survivors or we are a community as a whole. And because it's the visual language that I'm using, it's not an oral, it's not language as we commonly understand it, so it can be slippery and it can slide, a lot like fire. And people can bring their own experience into the show and hopefully walk away with a better understanding not only of themselves but the community, and the idea that just like the bushfires that affect all Australians, there's ways to mitigate and stop these things.